you doing?
How are you? Hi.
Mr. Freeman, I know this is our first time meeting.
No, it's not. We've met before.
Okay,
It's
so,
all right.
yeah, well, like, I think it was on the past.
Yeah.
I know he was.
Oh, hey, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for talking to me.
Of course.
Mr. Freeman, we just learned, myself and Tracy, maybe the other alderman did, but we had no clue. First of all, we had no clue of the breakdown of the layoffs to begin with. I mean, I don't gotta tell you about the plight. You understand the plight, you know that it's been just a.
Yeah, it's right there.
Everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the
But
right.
no clue that an additional 4 would let go.
Yeah, I mean, that's, everybody keeps.
Hey, how y'all doing?
You know,
We
so,
are
unfortunately, when
live
you're not the majority
here
vote,
for the
you just have
Harvey,
no, you
Foia,
just
and
have no
Finance
say-so. You just have,
meeting.
you have nothing.
or forum.
Right on. Hey, Mr. Derry, whatever you like
And
to say,
so,
sir.
That's what we here to do. Y'all
So,
please.
I mean,
Hey Ernesto.
whatever we can do.
Y'all
I'm just
please
saying,
go
just-
to my
just
post,
in general, just
the
like
community
whatever we can do,
post, and check
we wanna
out
be able to
the
do it
toy
for you,
drive.
or do it for-
Lots of people have
for
donated
the
toys.
firefighters.
Please. All of the toys are under $20. I have 4 toy drives that I want to go to. 2 in Harvey, 1 in Dalton, and 1 in Country Club Hills. So please, I'm asking you to please donate some toys for the kids. I want to attend 4 toy drives, 2 in Harvey, 1 in Country Club Hills, and 1 in Dalton. Okay? I'm gonna mute y'all while they get everything together, but we're all here. Hey Wyoming gal, hey Ernesto, hey everybody that did not speak. Hey. Hey Javar, how you doing?
And has there just been anything beyond that day? Like stated,
Not from the, no.
Hey Martin Johnson,
just nothing.
what you want?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want you all to forget. Let me turn this around. Okay, so I don't want you all to forget the toy drive. Please. The Amazon list is on the community post on our YouTube page. Lots of people have donated toys so far. All of the toys are under $20. We have 4 events, 2 in Harvey, 1 in Dalton, 1 for Country Club Hills. Please don't pay attention to the date for the one in Country Club Hills. I already spoke to the organizers. They will be taking toys when I bring them to them. Okay? Please, please, pretty please.
And then kind of jumping right into the
I'm
finances.
asking
Okay, these are the
for me,
finances. This is how much.
so we can make sure that the kids have a good Christmas this year in the South Suburbs.
And then
Okay?
from that
Love you
point, This
guys.
is how we complete a FOIA.
If you take the papers down, maybe it'll look better.
On just the board.
Yeah. Cause you can have a plan, or take them down,
Oh, yeah, let's just do that.
Take
I'm
them.
gonna just take them down.
yeah, take them to the thing, and that way you're not flying away. And then it might make it a better picture for it. What did you just say, take them?
No,
No, take
just keep
them,
them up and I'm just gonna take them.
take the ends of it to the, yep, like that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, sorry.
And then we can go into the, based on this financial, expose or what we've provided, this is how you go about writing a FOIA as it relates to.
Melissa, here. I'm gonna text it to,
Let me give Alderman Key a call. Hey,
Oh.
how y'all doing? I know it's a little tight, but we left the royal chairs for you all.
Pretty good.
Can I get y'all some water or anything? Underneath the snow. That's fine. We'll leave it up here. No, she good for y'all to see too, just so y'all know.
On my app. They're
all long time Harvey residents.
Do you feel comfortable, I'm with WGN, just asking why you wanted to come tonight, just everything that's going on right now with the city's finances, just what's
We gotta
top of
figure it
mind for you?
out.
Okay, you can stay seated right where you are, okay. You can just look at me while we're talking this, and we'll edit this later.
Okay.
So I'll just sit here and ask you one question. Yeah, no, you're
I
good.
did go to the new dispensary earlier though.
My name's Dana, this is Jason, yeah. Hi.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we've been covering this for a while. Our investigative team did a big story the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so I guess, with the current situation, also earlier today, we keep, the fire union, they've seen massive cuts in half of their department, a lot of police officers and city employees being furloughed. Just as a resident, how concerning is this, how worried are you?
Right, get some money, get high, right, you can feel the money. Right, where you at? I'm sorry.
Hey, Kathy. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, Wyoming gal, Javar, WGN, and ABC7 is here.
How long have you been? Okay, and, in the story that I was mentioning, our investigative team, they said over the last 25 years, like 40% of the city's residents have left, and so the mayor talks about, the loss in property taxes and businesses closing down and all of that, just, living here, just what is your concern, I guess, for the future and just the current, financial situation? What are you hoping can be turned around or be done?
Well, I'm hoping that we have new people in place, come 2027, and they will bring a new vision and execute on those visions instead of passing the buck, or passing responsibility, accountability. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I think Harvey is a diamond in the rough, actually. I know at one point it was the diamond for the South End, but over the days it's declined. But I think it turned out really in the right hands.
Okay, is there anything else that you wanted to mention, just about,
Tonight, just, you know, it's concerning that for years, that the few years I've been here.
No problem.
There has not been. Come to find out what month ago, we're financial, so, you know, that was very distressing.
it would be nice for more.
We need to get together at Rita's house.
And how do you spell your first name? Okay, and last name is W-A-T-S.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
This is another Glennis walks it out.
We'll have this on in some form of that, at 9 and 10. Okay. Can you just move this on?
Hilarious.
Treasurer Pickett will be here, within like the next 5 minutes. Alderman Key of the Fourth Ward will be here in about 5 minutes, so I appreciate you all's patience as we wait for them. Just giving an overview, today's just really about us trying to identify our financial landscape. There have been no answers to any questions. Our last meeting was on Monday, October the 27th. I found out on the news about the layoff of the 4 additional firefighters, as well as the rest of us on the 10 o'clock news on Tuesday. So hopefully tonight, our goal is to put in some Foias and see what comes of that. So, I really appreciate y'all being here. And maybe I need to turn this one off.
Maybe the,
Maybe
maybe the last one.
Turn those two back on.
Is that enough light?
Is that okay?
It's already in the shear drive, okay. Well, how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Great.
That's good.
Good, okay, well, real good.
I made it.
Right?
Water? There's some on the table right now.
What made it through it?
My daddy had surgery. And daddy saved on my dad's stomach. It was rough.
I seen your wagon. It was called 2024.
You should.
Can you just reshare it, please?
Oh, okay.
Not you trying to read the candy. What you help the children, Jesus. Be doing like my son. He be like, no, that's cherry. I hear somebody coming up the steps. Hey, honey. Come on in. There's 2 chairs on the other side. You're gonna set up over there again. Or you're gonna set up right there.
I didn't even know they were gonna be presents.
She didn't either.
Oh, really? Okay. Hey, girl, where you been? I haven't seen you in forever. You disappeared.
I know. All of that.
How you doing? Same old.
And Foia consulting fees paid for last 6 months. Consulting fees. Whoever asked the question about the consulting fees, can you Foia the consulting fees? Yes, you can. You can Foia payments for consulting fees for the last 6 months, you definitely can.
No, mine's is this.
Come on, Mr. Deere. Come on,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Deere.
don't know what Steve
This
mentioned.
from mama.
No, we got the new iPhone.
Sit here if you like.
I got one.
They're gonna be starting the presentation in just a few minutes. You working on something for here? Okay, Miss Sure. This is the Foia and Finance Forum. The treasurer is on the way, and the alderman for the fourth ward is on the way. Please, if you can, check the community post for the toy drive. Check the community post for the toy drive. All toys are under $20. We've had a lot of people to donate so far, but we do need more toys. Please. Super, we tired of you.
I was trying to calm myself recording.
Thank you.
Are you set?
Maybe I'll get my tripod. I didn't know anything was. I just thought it was gonna be like.
Well,
typical
Ryan,
meeting.
just get your stuff or go, get your stuff set up there. I would set up there so you could be able to see it.
Yeah, because she's gonna talk about the finances, or at least what she knows.
Yeah, she put the book out here.
Yeah, I'll go get my stand.
Hey. Yeah. It's been a busy week, yeah. But yeah, Kobe was putting all this stuff out. This is from 2021, but this is from this year, I believe. So that's newer information.
Oh yeah, revenue.
Yeah.
Make sure the purple thing doesn't come up. Oh.
Yeah, I got it better.
I'm sure you wish you won.
Yeah, I'm like extremely true.
Well, or at least for a different reason.
Man, when a fireman's on the news, it's never good. You know, it's never like everything went great.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's right.
There were no disasters.
Yeah, nobody ever calls and goes, look at this awesome thing I did.
You all, we're just getting the Zoom going for our folks that'll join me in online who couldn't make it out tonight, so that's what and then we'll get started.
I'm gonna share it on time.
Yes.
Posted recently, probably, the
On,
video.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I didn't either. No, just come on. Because they're actually. You can't look any more casual than I do. Okay, well, Shane, you come on over because I want to coordinate with you because I didn't. I was like, oh, well.
This be the stuff. Yeah, right on my live and chastise his ass. We gotta just how this way.
Okay.
That should have been here.
Okay. That's okay. Okay, see you soon. Okay. Bye.
Out there cackling like an AKA.
Cackling like an AKA.
Yes, ma'am. That's how they be doing too. Don't want nobody to hear them and be like,
I know, right?
you gonna wanna do it with this. Amanda was so
It's probably me.
I mean, okay.
What you say you?
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody in.
Wait, it kicked me out.
Oh, no, I just submit,
Oh, okay, now it's coming.
You in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, I hear it. Test.
They should have muted everybody's mics.
Mute my mic.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining Foia and Finance Forum event tonight. We're setting up everything. We'll get started in just a few moments. Again, thank you all for joining.
Do feedback, can you go out there? Because you can hear her.
Yeah.
Just mute it from-
Wait.
I like to see old people with gadgets they can't even work.
Hey, Tracy.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, holidays.
You wanna set up over here?
Hey, Mr. King. We got you over here. How you doing?
Hey.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Hello.
Look at Amanda looking out.
We get started in just a few moments. We're setting
Such a
up
professional.
This was on his
I know all the
phone.
professionals.
Yes, you are all correctly. And again, for people that are on the
I don't even know what to say. What do y'all think about y'all Illinois people being special?
Type in your questions, you all, or you can hold them for the end.
If my brother
You'll
was
be
here,
online to ask, but if you do have any pressing questions, please utilize the chat that should be at the bottom of the screen.
No, it is. It's already shared. It's Lynn's shared. 2 minutes, y'all, I promise. 2 minutes, just 120 seconds, and we're gonna be ready to roll.
Hello, everyone.
Hey Maya, how you doing? They are having a Foia and finance meeting in Harvey, so we are in
This
Harvey.
is Alderman Tracy Key of the 4th Ward. Thank you, Alderman Key. And I guess, you know, just in jumping right into it, we wanna first greet you all, good evening, thank you all for being here tonight. Our last city council meeting was held on Monday, October the 27th. And what was most baffling about that particular meeting is that we awarded a group by the name of Turlington Homes 9 parcels of land. And it was told to us that those properties were being sold at a low discounted rate with a maximum value of $249,500. And so just in thinking that we were just on Thursday, October the 16th, declaring financial distress. And then followed by that, we learned about the 60+ employees that were furloughed that Monday. And then we turned right back around just 1 week after October the 21st to offer an entity by the name of Turlington Homes 9 properties, but we did not disclose the discounted rate of sale. And what's most troublesome that myself and every resident that's sitting in here, even a resident that unfortunately was moved out of their home across 14 parcels on 153rd and Myrtle, or another resident that's received a ticket for a $500 ticket for nothing because they said she whispered. I couldn't. No one heard it. I mean, and it's so these multitude of issues that we're facing, and we're highlighting that, but we've never ever took a deep, long look into this whole financially distressed piece. So, like I said, it was mind blowing on October the 27th that we would sell 9 parcels of land, and even at that point, not disclose to the city how much profit and revenue we took heed to. And so that has led us to where we are today. You know, the month of November, there were no meetings. There was supposed to be a meeting November 8th, and there was supposed to be another meeting November the 22nd. And we got no correspondence about why those meetings were canceled. Even leading up until today at this very moment, we had a business open, a new dispensary open up today in Harvey, which is great. But another piece of like, why weren't the city council involved in this brand new opening? A lot of this looks like non-transparency. And if I had to probably pull a word for each of us that identifies kind of what we've all been going through, we've been muzzled and we've been hidden away from our financial landscape, which I have a lot of the financial documents of the city laid here on the table. So tonight, the hopeful goal is to learn about the finances from some finance extraordinaires who have taken the details of our financial structure and pieced it out so that it can be a breakdown of understanding. Again, I'm grateful to have our treasurer, our city treasurer here. This is Ms. Aisha Pickett. Grateful to have our 4th Ward Alderman Tracy Key and a host of longtime Harvey residents who are just trying to understand the why. And so just going back, we, like I said, we call for financially distressed city law. We called for this on Monday, October the 16th. The last time that happened was in like 1995 in East St. Louis. And as we know today in 2026, they're still recovering. And with that just happening 30 years ago, I mean, so much has changed in the world around finances, around the way in which municipalities are structured. So as we know it, the financially distressed city law allows for the creation of a financial advisory authority. The FAA, which is overseen by the governor, appoints 3 people to oversee our finances. And the Financial Advisory Authority for a distressed home rule municipality, which is a city, village, or unincorporated township with more than 25,000. We're negative 6,000 of that. We have about 19,000 residents. So every time we go to vote, we have to vote for home rule. Typically, those with over 25,000 residents already have a home rule status. The Financial Advisory Authority has the power to reject loans, budgets, and contracts, and otherwise over the city's finances. In other words, the buck stops with them. Well, why did we unanimously vote for this on Thursday, October the 16th? I feel like we had no choice. Sitting next to one of the longest serving alderpersons in the 4th Ward, with non-transparency, vagueness on the finances, not understanding how many bank accounts we have, our city treasurer is never allowed to even speak at the meetings. This only seems like the most advantageous thing for us to do is to allow someone to oversee our finances. But to date, there hasn't been a projected timeline or an opportunity for us to really delve into what exactly happens next, when in which this money, if not appointed, that the FAA will step in. How does that affect our governance from a home rule standpoint? Do we still have a mayor, alderpersons, treasurer, clerk? Like, what really happens? And again, just looking at what happened in East St. Louis 30 years ago, that was 30 years ago. It's just a whole new way of inner workings within the municipality. And right now we have a public crisis. As Mr. Friedman mentioned on yesterday's news, fire breaking out in these below temps with, less than 10 men on the staff. I mean, we're putting their lives at risk as well. And so what does that say to the residents when we're putting the individuals' lives at risk who are intended to save us? We've been left in the dark about that. It was just in April we had a major layoff. Why then did the discussion not come up about what was to come for the future so people could best prepare, especially SNAP benefits have been cut. People are preparing for the holidays. So 86.4% is the tax increase, and those are due on December the 15th. So what is our best measure? To date, like I said, we've had no detail, no correspondence. And so today is almost a demand to the city to step up, do something about our current state, be as bold as possible about correspondence, and allow the city to really thrive in transparency. Because at this point, the secret is out. We're broke and we need help. So I'm going to turn it over now to Alderman Key, Treasurer Pickett to speak. And then we're going to jump into the budget that was prepared. And then after that, I'm asking everybody here to complete a Foia, right? Even if all of us together put in the same Foia, what's often happening, I know Ryan can attest to this, is that you put these Foias in and then it's always comes back, it's too burdensome. Well, if 10 people are putting in the same Foia, I don't know how that would be considered burdensome if we all want to know the same information. So we're just hopeful to gather something so that we can go into the 2026 year with just 4 months left in the 25-26 fiscal year with some real understanding on how we move forward in the 26-27 fiscal year. So I'll turn it over now to, would you want Alderman Key? Okay. All right. Thank you, Alderman Key.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody nice and warm out there today. We're trying to do the best. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to commend, Alderwoman Chapman for all the efforts that she's put in and all the efforts that she considers and that she always is around. We're people that just care, and what we need right now is people that genuinely care. Looking back on I've been on for like close to 8 years now, and it's basically just been just a bunch of chaos, non-transparency, and not working together, on doing things. And I'm the one always trying. I don't go along with everything, but I just go with the right thing. God just put me in the right direction, so I stay in that way no matter what anybody has to say. I'm always able to explain myself. The financial situation, it's been over a year ago. Me and Alderwoman Kobe Chapman was on the finance committee, and I guess we were just asking, simple question: what did you spend that $100 on? Just use a small amount, things like that, or any ways alternative. And we will never get the answers that we need. I asked that the finance chairman, Tyrone Rogers, if he can stand up, then if he can't stand up, to stand down. He's in charge of the finance committee. He had us removed from the finance committee over a year ago, and here we are now, a year ago, with all this has happened. So just explain it. Just explain that to me what I was doing, what Alderwoman Chapman was doing. What was our treasurer? Just explain us. We all good enough people to explain. We messed up, but you can't say that. But I'm still gonna always keep that team concept. We're still aldermen, we're still on the same team. The council, we're still on the same team, same level, and that's how we're supposed to work. But this is not a blame game, and what I feel is that if you already in debt, you get the power. You should not spend excessive money if you already know. Just using a small example, if you have a $7,000 credit card and that somebody gives to you, but you took over that credit, you already have $5,000 in debt. So if you only have $2,000, why are you steady spending over that $2,000 and more, and you don't even try to get the $5,000 deficit down? I don't understand how the concept is going, but we're just trying to get communication, with our people and let people know that we do genuinely care, we're concerned. We didn't think that it was gonna happen like this on this automatic magnitude. If you get paid, you get your paycheck, you know how much money you make. And when you know how much money you make, you compare that to your bills to determine what you have left over. So you should know when you run out of money. So I don't understand why this has been such a surprise. we're not trying to cause some trouble, we're just doing our job, you know, put it that way. It's just so hard to do your job, but we never stop being ourselves. And we just want to let the community know that we are trying, and it's like really up to us. This is our city. We have to take our city back. I don't know nobody higher up that I can talk to and be able to say, we're gonna look into this. I don't know why that's happening, you know, how the concept is, but it's not being transparent enough, and that's from everybody higher on up. You know, everybody has to take accountability, you know. So we're here to just give y'all insight, and we definitely need y'all input, because we need to see how y'all feel. We need for y'all to see what we're out here fighting for, and for y'all to tell us, maybe you shouldn't do that, or maybe you should do it, and we're gonna listen to it. Give us your input, and we can say, well, we can't do this, or we can't do that, or we're gonna try to do that. But sending out the FOIA information, we get enough residents that are put, just say we had 15 or 20 residents that put in a FOIA information for the same thing, they don't have to get the same excuse to everybody. That's different than one person coming in and getting the information. Now you got 20 people you got to battle with that you ain't did, which is against the law, like in the first place. But I wish nothing but the best for my city. That's why I became alderman, because I want to be part of this. And this is a hard situation, but I feel I'm built for the job. I feel that Alderwoman Chapman, Treasurer Aisha, you know, we built for the job, and basically because we care, because I'm only speaking on what my residents tell me, you know. And I also have spirits inside of me of my residents that are not here anymore, still. She done passed away, still waiting on that vacant property next door to be torn down. Still waiting to get these potholes fixed. Still waiting to get street lights fixed. And they're not even here no more. Excuse me. But their spirit lives inside of me. And every time I pass by the house, pass by the area, see my residents, I see people that want answers. And for people to not give you answers, and I don't want to come to my own conclusion, because we start rooms, I want to be professional. I want to know facts. I want to know exactly what I'm talking about. I want people to know exactly what I'm trying to do. But basically, that's what I'm trying to do, is just fight for the people, all the people. And it's not just one ward. You cannot have a mentality that you're just looking out for your ward. I live over here in the 4th ward. Alderwoman Cole Chapman lives over here in the 2nd ward. She has residents that have family in my ward. I have residents in her ward. In every single ward we got, so we all in this together. You know, so your input matters a whole lot, and just thank you for the opportunity. And Aisha, is she ready yet? You almost ready? This is a great one. She's really been trying, and I think she's built for the job. So with that being said, thank y'all very much. You want to see you guys?
Good evening, everyone. I'll be very brief. I did not have anything formally prepared. Wasn't expecting this, but I want to first thank the alderpersons for getting this together and giving us the opportunity to speak to the residents and take questions and answer questions to the best of our ability. I also want to thank the residents who did show up. We appreciate you guys coming out. We appreciate you consistently asking questions and holding us accountable. We do not run from it. We accept it, and we try to do our best to take on that responsibility that we have been entrusted with. My tenure as a treasurer has not been the easiest. As they mentioned before, there are things that I don't necessarily have access to, so it makes my job it makes my job very difficult. And then when you're met with things, when you try to work with what you have to give the people some type of information, and you're basically shut down, or as they say, muted, or basically told you can't tell that information, it becomes a little bit discouraging. And it also becomes, it feels like I'm being hidden from the public. So I'm an elected official. I was chosen by the people, and it has been my goal to to serve as an elected official. I don't feel like this is I'm higher or than anyone or anything like that. I am a servant. So in my position, I've been trying to serve. I have been, since I've been elected, I've been going to different trainings and things like that to better learn my situation, my position, to better learn what it is that I'm supposed to do as a treasurer. I was recently certified as an Illinois Municipal Treasurer. It was announced at one of the meetings, but it was kind of, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, and been taught to try to pay attention to what I am supposed to be counting. So it has been my goal to serve. I'm hoping that with this current situation, maybe some things will turn around and things will be, I'm hoping that things will be more open. They'll be more willing to work with us because we are willing to do the work. We just need some little cracks in the door. We don't even need the whole window or the whole door open. Just give us a little bit and we'll work with what we got. I think that's all I got. I don't want to talk too much and ramble on, but again, thank you guys for coming, and we appreciate the opportunity to speak to you guys. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you, Ms. Pearson. Thank you, Alderman Pete. Now we'll turn right into, this is Ms. Glennis James Watson, a first ward resident, and Ms. Amanda Askew, fifth ward resident, who have pretty much taken the finances across the 2025 year and really broken them down. So I'm going to, yes, you may. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Go to the view and put it like 150%.
Well, the thing that I had did it with my fingertips, so.
Well, while she's doing that, I can maybe. So, I am, not the treasurer, but, I do, work in a professional capacity, with, budgets. And, so what I was able to do was to consolidate not all of the bills lists, because there were a few missing, but the bills lists that I did have access to, I put into one spreadsheet, and I was able to, I'm able to kind of call the, based on the departments and the funds and the departments, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And, oh, okay. Right, so, let's see. Oh, and because there hasn't been any financial, information from the city, made available to the public, this data has been called in spurts, so as the bills has come in, but anyway, so I'm saying all that to say this is not a true financial report, because first of all, there's no revenue. We don't know where the revenue streams are coming from. We don't know what the budget lines are. We don't know any of that information. The only thing I have is what's been spent as far as how they've reported what's been spent. So, again, there's no starting and ending balances, so it's just kind of a look at the money that has been expended, that they've reported has been expended, and again, I believe there's no way to find out if these funds have totally been expensed or if they're just on the books, like they haven't been paid yet. So there's really no way to know what our true financial situation is. And
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay. So, well, I'm just trying to get it so I can manipulate it because I can't, see everything. Like I can't get to the that's why I don't like Google. I don't like Google. So like I need to get those, so I need that. Oh, there you go, okay, perfect, thank you. I can. Okay, that's a little bit better. So, right. I should Well, so I do have a pivot table. I'm not gonna be able to give you totals, overall, but I'll just highlight some things that you might be interested to know what was expended. So, our general fund, I guess that's where they just kind of throw anything that's not categorized. Perfect, thank you. Okay, that, so, for one, our general fund, again, that includes pretty much anything, administration fees, refuse, builder deposits, builder deposit payables, and so our first bills list, the first bills list that I have recorded for 2024, which was presented at the, oh, I'm sorry, that was presented at the 2024, February 24th meeting. It's reported that $1,109,232.52 was spent for that category of probably from January something to February something. So in that month, it was $1 million. For the second meeting that I have for April 28th.
Can I do what? Cause they can't see you.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay. And for the
Does that include payroll? That amount?
I'm assuming, you know what, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. No, it does not.
Okay.
No, okay. And, so in the second meeting, or the, April 28th meeting, that fund spent $144,335.74. The next meeting was May 25th. It's reported $1,807,375.08. June meeting, this is again the general fund, $1,176,186,186.89. The August bills, August list, for the general fund was $1,016,460.87. And the dates that I'm saying are the meeting dates, so because I don't have in front of me what dates those were, usually they are like, I think it was like, well, yeah, but it would have been like November or September 18th through October 19th or something like that. So the date that I'm quoting is the meeting date that these were presented at or voted on. And so the October bill, October 27th meeting, $1,174,551.57. So, I mean, that's a lot just for the general fund. Something else you might be interested to know, and again, I wish I could have pulled these totals together. The legal expenses, that is Department 105, the February meeting. Oh, I got it. All right. Okay, so this should be a little bit easier. So we know that the legal department is 105. I'm sorry.
Was there a budget for 2024? And was legal a line item for that budget? Was there money allocated for the
That's just it, we don't
2024?
have the
So you
budget.
don't know?
We don't have the budget. I'm
Okay.
sure there had to have been, Ms. Pickett can attest to, that. I
Okay.
can't, but I'm sure there had to have been. So, according to this spreadsheet, Department 105, for all of the meetings, that were had in 2025 thus far, looks like 15,081,049. I don't know if this is rounded or not, and $49. So $15 million has been spent in legal fees this year.
This year?
Do you
And that
know
could-
if the legal fees, when he did the challenges for NAPO, is included in that total?
I
too?
have no idea. I mean, because this includes, I didn't break it down to the
Would that
GL.
be something that he can charge for if he's doing his own challenges?
I don't know. I didn't break it down to the department. I mean, to the GL account. So this is including every GL account under the 105 department. So some are classified as legal services, some are classified as general, collective bargaining, employee matters. So it's all rolled up into one lump sum. So I couldn't tell you based on this.
And so none of those are settlement numbers, like if they
Right.
settled a lawsuit, that's not even included there.
Right.
These are
They're
working
paying
hours.
attorneys.
I beg your pardon?
These are working hours that were billed.
Billed
Billed
lawyers.
hours.
I'm an attorney, I'm not sure, but it's under the
Wow, 15.
Department of Legal Fees. That's how they've classified them.
And we have about 3 different law firms. We have Ansel
Yeah,
and Link, we have-
Ansel, Blink, Montana and Welch,
and Fioretti.
McGing, oh, that's a lawyer.
And do each one of them have contracts with the village that specify what the costs are, like what they're charging
I
for?
wouldn't have access to that.
Yeah,
I
they
just
don't give
pick it
them
me.
anything.
I don't have
They
access.
haven't seen financials in 7 years. So.
The only thing that we've ever received, ever, as it relates to our financial landscape is the bills list. Anything further than that, when there's a request for invoices, a profit and loss statement, or just, for instance, the settlement agreement where these businesses are paying $30,000 a year to operate without a business license. None of that has ever been provided to us at large on like, this is what they're allocating to, or you know, this cost for this thing. We just see the bills list and it's voted on, and that's it, and that's the end of it.
Okay. Because other municipalities have the contract where they tell you, this is what we charge for this per hour, this is what we charge. If we use a paralegal, this is what we charge for them to do something, but this is what we charge for us to do. So that way you know how you got to this $15 million anyway. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is not, subtotaling, so let me go back and I will give you the total for the 105. I'm sorry, that's the grand total. That did seem a little high. So, no, not.
Son of a. You finna take 15 million out yours.
Just from our bills list, which I'm gonna show a bills list, I'm gonna show the Monday, October 27th bills list. Yeah.
It's not a breakdown,
It's
like,
not.
it'll say, oh, $1 million.
Right.
There's no PO, no
Right, cause
check
that's
request.
weird, no,
You don't know.
yeah, right.
Can't identify nothing, they just give you a number.
We just get the number.
You don't even get up the street.
And it may be like a copy and paste from years ago, cause I mean, you never know because
Right,
it's
'cause you
just
don't have a
it's just a
budget
bunch of
line
numbers.
item.
Okay, this is a big difference, if this is pulling the data correctly. Okay, so it's saying, I'm so sorry, this is a big difference, but it's still a lot, if you ask me, but, 250,000, $250,560.53. So that's a big difference for 15 million. So sorry about that. That's for the legal department. And communications department.
Hey, you carry that? I can carry that.
No.
You got it?
They're in charge of what areas you want.
So the guys, I guess how are you all selected to be furloughed?
Bye, Jason. Have a good night. Be careful.
So let's see.
So all the guys that are currently here,
What's going on in
It's saying no internet connection.
We don't have they don't have a great internet here in the building. Yeah, especially with the weather right now.
So let's see. I can go back to.
all other municipalities, South Holland, all
Okay, let's see.
some of our guys come over.
So for the communications, department. At the first meeting, $10,320.58 was spent. Or was paid, or ostensibly paid, $17,350.43. At the second meeting, that was April 28th. The May 25th meeting, it's reported $11,400. Yeah. I think it's like the website and the, I don't know if that's the,
Not the one in the, lot of bill.
okay.
I don't know if that's included. But, the newsletter is missing out.
Oh, the glossy ones, the magazine kind of ones, okay.
Those are
Um,
quarterly, right?
Like the ones Tiffany used to sing, those Thorn Towns.
The June 23rd meeting, communications, expense was $18,360.97. The August meeting, August 26th meeting, $30,350.43. And October meeting, October 27th meeting, $13,749.97.
And these are for the city council meetings you're talking about?
Yes, those are the meeting dates, the city council meeting dates. So those are the bills lists presented on those dates. And, what else, let's see, there was one other thing I thought might be interesting, to note. And again, I'm sorry, I can't break it down to the fine details. There's some miscellaneous appropriations, and I just, for the life of me, can't understand why there would be miscellaneous appropriations.
Could you explain the definition of miscellaneous appropriations?
I can't explain it, but.
No, I'm saying in a budget terms, like we
Oh, in the
understand.
budget terms, there should not
building.
be a miscellaneous, anything appropriated. You should have appropriated, everything that you plan to spend for the year is supposed to be appropriated in your budget. So at the beginning of your budget year, your fiscal year, you sit down and you say, we're gonna spend this much on paper, or we're gonna spend this much on utilities, we're gonna spend this much on. So to have a miscellaneous, that means there either isn't the substantiating documents to fall underneath it, so that you know how to categorize it. That's the only thing I can think of, or they didn't do a good job of setting out their categories, their GL accounts for their budget, because this, for the first meeting, the February 24th meeting, $434,097.43 is miscellaneous appropriations.
So I'm sorry, let's repeat that one more time. Over $400,000 in
That's just the
miscellaneous.
first meeting.
First quarter of the finance committee meeting for the year, we've had over $400,000 in miscellaneous appropriations. That is $400,000 out of the city's budget that has not been allocated for or accounted for anything. And we don't know where that money is assigned to. That, my friends, is called a financial red flag.
Oh, in the second meeting, it was 417,000. Miscellaneous appropriations.
I can give a little bit of context, which I have suggested that it was changed, but anyway, that was null and void. So some of the miscellaneous includes settlements, like if we have lawsuits. Some of it includes some of the lawyer fees with specific litigation or lawsuits. So I don't think, they don't include that in the legal fees. Like there's separate fees they charge for different types of lawsuits. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it is in two different places. Again, the lawsuits that are in there are miscellaneous, and I'm looking at, it looks like fringe benefit, the insurance premiums.
Oh, that's a miscellaneous appropriations?
Yes. It should be. I agree.
Okay.
Could you, is it possible we can highlight maybe the top 3 things out of the budget that we spend the most for? Number 1, we know is legal. What would be number 2 and number 3?
Well, okay, let's see, I can do it this way.
So
I
number
do
1 is
have
legal.
a grand total by fund. So, so the general fund, the total, this is the total across all of the departments. The general fund is $8,706,863.98. That's the general fund. So everything that falls under that general fund, that's how much that's, and that's for up to that October 27th meeting date. So it could be more than that. Let's see what comes next. Water fund. $5,961,956.98
Would be for the water.
the water fund.
And
And that's, I guess, what they pay to the city of Chicago for our water?
Yeah, and, treatment and
Oh,
all
okay.
that. The water fund is its own separate. Like the police department is the water fund.
to give a little context, what happens is neighboring municipalities pay the water to us. We in turn pay it to the city of Chicago. So that would be another really big expense if you ever were inquiring about the financials. Top one we see is legal, we pay out a lot, and then the water fund would be that. And that's because with the agreements that we have with the neighboring municipalities, residents in those neighboring municipalities, they pay the water bill. The water bill comes to us, we in turn pay it to the city of Chicago. So just to kind of give you context as to why that may be a large number that you may see on financials or budgets in the event you wanted to request the financials to review for yourself.
And does that include the back due amount that is owed to Chicago?
I'm not sure. I think I did see.
Not on the bills list.
There, well, I think I did see when I was doing it, there were,
Fees, but that's
yeah,
not
fees,
the-
like late fees or some type of fee.
So the, I don't think it includes the back. It includes water purchases, so you see those. And then the penalties, which he's been implied that those will be, basically wiped away, but nobody has confirmed that that is the fact, so between those two, those are on the list.
So those were the top two. The next one looks like the sewer fund. Oh, I'm sorry, motor fuel fund. And that was, $309,469.34.
Could you explain the purpose of the motor fuel fund?
I cannot. Ms. Pickett, you probably.
It's not like you can call a special meeting.
I know it has something to do with the utilities and the streets. Where is that, money going out, the money you said?
Well, yeah, it's Fund 02.
That's the motor fuel tax? The motor fuel tax is used for it to,
Well, I don't know if it's a tax, it's just under the motor fuel fund. It's what?
Well,
It's the
on
same.
the bills list is the. No, you can talk, please.
No, because from my understanding of the motor fuel tax, it is the tax that is collected, like from the gas pumps and all of those things, right? And it is used specifically for infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, streets, and it only can be used for that.
But this is an expenditure, this is a bill.
Right, what did they fix? Did they fix potholes? Did they, if you don't know,
It could be
right.
in the, the line item, but.
Right, but that if you see something out of that, it would have to be for potholes, sidewalks, roads, anything dealing with the roads or bridges or anything in Harvey as far as that's concerned. That's what that can be used for. That's the only thing it can be used for.
Here's some O2. Outside services, utilities.
Street lights.
Yeah, street lights, all of that.
Street, I think some street repair, but I don't know if we had a lot of that. Outlet in the washer dryer, not sure what that's about. Camera fees, restore power, camera fees, utilities. Is that supposed to be included?
Yes.
City's utilities?
Yes, it can be.
That's what's on the bills. So, I do, I guess wanna reiterate, because I don't know how many people know this, but a lot of our motor fuel tax that's collected goes to, pension that we owe back. So there was a settlement some time ago, I think I just went to the meeting, 2017 or 2018. It was somewhere around there. They had a settlement, and the funds come from the Illinois, from the state. They take it directly from the state and send it to the pension fund. So a lot of our money that's coming in is going to them. So that's why they're saying we don't get, even with the low collection rate, a large portion of that also goes to the past, pension fund where we owe back from, so.
That's for fire and police pension.
We have paid off police, the back pay. We paid off police, so now but it didn't lower it. So the amount that went to the police is now also going to the fire. So now they're getting the whole, I think it's 30-something%, I think. So now it's going to the fire pension.
I guess my question would be that is there some legal remedies under which the city could either renegotiate something or present constitutional challenges regarding how the amounts are collected and how it cripples a city that the majority of the people are already considered disadvantaged, or I know I know I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is it diaspora or in impact? But it's a basically you're challenging it based on the fact that even though it's legal for them to take the money, but the argument would be that in itself is not unconstitutional, but the effect of enforcing a law or ordinance or whatever, the impact that it has on the broader community, that's where you could come in with a constitutional challenge. I haven't looked it up to see, but I think that it is, if we do have attorneys within the city, which I believe we do, that is something that they should be looking at, because of the history of corruption in the city, or for whatever reason that we got to this point, it's stifling the future of our children and the future of our community based on past action. And so I think that it would be a good idea if they started to look to see if there's some way that we can challenge that, not to undercut the police or the people who have earned the pension, but rather negotiate it in a way that takes care of them but doesn't cripple us at the same time.
I understand there may be statutes that, I understand the direction you're going in. It could be Illinois statutes or federal statutes.
Something. I would think that it would be at the federal level. I wouldn't think that, because the state is going to protect their own interests. I think that it would be beneficial if they looked at something at the federal level, because then it stops. If you're at the federal level, it stops like the county and the city and people where it stops them from interfering with that, and you get a different set of eyes on it who doesn't have the political connections and things directly to Harvey.
Now let me play devil's advocate. If you have an administration for multiple years that have misappropriated the funds, right? If we're looking on a federal level, a federal judge is going to say the people in charge, the people that they voted to put in charge, misappropriated the funds. Why should I say that you should be able to renegotiate this because of that, right? So I think the vote for the state to come in was the best thing that they could have done, because if you have three people that were not involved in anything taking a look at the finances, maybe they will be able to find a way, you know, since they misappropriated funds, maybe they will be able to find a way to correct the budget so that what is being levied is not heavy on the residents, right? You know, I'm just.
But you also gotta look at the firefighters, they're not going to renegotiate their pensions, they said that at the last meeting. They want their money.
Well, the
So at
comptrollers.
the end of the day, that's why the garnishments are in place, because they haven't been getting their money, and they want their money. So
Right, well,
just
the.
like with Dalton, what happened with Dalton, the same thing. They wound up having to renegotiate their contracts and giving them something that they could get. Right now, they got the garnishments because they stopped paying.
I feel like you have a better stance with speaking with the comptroller, right? Because the comptroller, I know that you know, you had an issue.
Okay, Miss Askew's done.
Yeah,
What you talking about, Susan Mendoza? Is that who you talking about?
yeah.
You talking about the control here in Harvey?
Oh, no, not him.
Okay.
Not him.
Actually tag on into that, I don't know if you know that.
Not him. The state comptroller.
So the bill list that you guys, that we're currently looking at here has.
All right, so, to speak on the pension, so I do attend, I don't know when the police pension meetings are, but I do attend the fire pension meetings. And there actually is a lawsuit right now. The city has filed a lawsuit against the pension board for a couple of reasons. But, one is that this is basically causing an undue hardship.
Yeah, that's.
However, because of past actions, the pension board is dead set against changing it or altering it, because in the past, they have not gotten their money. And they feel like now they're finally getting their money and now you wanna take it away. So I understand both sides. And it's a hard, but yeah, they're kind of stuck. So I think it's gonna actually go through with the lawsuit. The lawsuit is actually gonna go through, because both sides have a strong case. Like, it is hardship on the people, but it also is, we also have the duty to fund the pension. And we were not funding the pension. So that's why
layoffs they got already, and then how they money
that's
stopped.
That's extra.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for the state of Illinois, they're not funding the teachers' retirement system either. So what are they doing with that particular thing?
Yeah,
Because they're not getting all their money either.
That's not even.
no, they blowing their money too though. You gotta watch the news for that one. Yeah,
Which causes them to go legal routes, because typically the municipality is supposed to pay in it. That's why they have,
That's why they got sued the first time.
that is why they got sued the first time. But they have audits that gives a recommendation on how much they should levy every year so that the pension fund is paid. So right now, they're not even trying to fully fund the pension. They're trying to get there eventually, but they feel like if you change it now, after they already got this settlement, and now they're getting the rest of the money from the the police portion, they feel like what is gonna keep the city from falling back into not funding it? So.
You know, a couple of years ago, you remember when Detroit had to file bankruptcy, the city of Detroit. Did Detroit Michigan governor, did he assign a board to run the city, or what happened?
That would be something to research.
Yeah, I don't know, I didn't know they found bankruptcy.
They did, but and I think it was some, maybe a receivership type of situation that they did. I'm not sure who was the receiver of it or who was appointed by the governor, but I do know that was something that they did, and for the most part have rebounded in some ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do understand what you're saying, and Michigan and Illinois are different, so I think that's the purpose of the financially distressed, is that you can't officially say bankrupt, but essentially, by definition,
That's what that
financially
is.
distressed means we're bankrupt.
Mhm.
So, but
Now,
I did want to segue into when you talked about the comptroller, and I want to give structure to how the department is set up, because this treasurer here, the comptroller, should report to the treasurer. Fortunately, for the last couple of years, it has not been that way. So I wanted to point out interesting things that have been on the bills list that, because we're here about Foia, this might be something you want to consider Foiaing. Our comptroller name is Louis B. Williams, and during the finance committee meetings and the bills list, there has always been reimbursements of credit cards. Essentially what this means is Mr. Louis Williams uses his personal credit card and expects the city to reimburse. So we got about $1,000 in gas. We have a reimbursement of $3,465 that we don't know what the reimbursement is for.
That was probably the turkeys he bought on his personal credit card.
Okay, there's that. Is that for
No,
there
he
was
actually
also-
did that. Like, now, my question was, why are you putting, where's the city credit card? Why are you taking that, you know, we all get points on our American Express card.
That's what I was gonna say.
So that's a
You
whole
getting
lot
a
of free
point.
trips
Getting a
right
point.
there. There's no reason he should be using his personal expenses for anything.
So to the tune of as much information as he has been reimbursed almost $14,000 for things that we don't understand. It was a reimbursement of $3,465, but we don't know. We see a conference, but again, because the comptroller works for the city should be able to pay for these conferences. Why did you pay for it personally and then expect residents to pay it back to you? And then Best Buy. I don't know if you call it Black Friday sale, but what were you buying at Best Buy for almost $3,000 that we have no record? And I want you all to keep this in mind because another vendor.
Did anyone have city credit cards or do they all use their personal?
And what can we put on the books? See, because I believe that the strongest point is to make laws. Is there a law or ordinance that we can, as citizens, advocate for and vote for that would prevent people from using their personal credit cards? For that, couldn't we put something in place?
That's something we can do at this point, because this is all past.
Yeah.
So this is all past.
But I'm just saying, we still need to put in safeguards for the future.
And that's, you know, you
gotta have four votes.
percentage of the aldermen to even present an
Right.
ordinance.
Right.
And they don't have it, it's only Tracy and Cole.
Right.
Wow.
So they'll never be able, everybody asks, why isn't she doing an ordinance? Because it'll never, it's a waste of time.
It'll never get passed.
It'll
They
never
won't even
get
put it
the
on the
floor.
agenda.
Huh?
They don't even put it on the agenda half the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So,
do you have to have a referendum to vote on that or something?
Well, you have to have, I think it's 2/3 of majority in order just to get it on the floor.
I have a question. When he was reimbursed, the treasurer just reimburses money, or is this something that gotta go through a voting system to get approved? And he just
No, he just swiped in and.
Treasurer, POB, resident, POB, treasurer, POB.
I was supposed to, if he does use it, so I'm gonna assume he's already got pre-approval for these things because why would you go buy a bunch of turkeys? So somebody's telling him, hey, can you use your
It's all
card?
passed.
However, it is supposed to come before the council and they are supposed to vote to approve paying this bill.
Correct.
He is supposed to submit documentation, how he submit documentation to himself. I don't know who's checking these things.
Right.
I don't know how that works, unfortunately, I don't. But, I do know when I submit my reimbursements, I submit my, receipts to the comptroller.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be, it's not supposed to be paid out until it's approved. Supposedly, except if it's already approved on the budget,
Okay,
supposedly.
so once again, did you, as the treasurer?
No, I
pay
ain't gave out nothing.
So who paid him?
Sure.
So, that's the treasurer's POV, resident POV. As a
Okay.
person that attended the finance committee meeting, how it went was there was a list of bills that was not readily available to anyone.
Okay.
And these reimbursements were on the bills list and they were unanimously voted yes. So the aldermen that are on the finance committee meeting voted yes for these reimbursements without a review and without a question. When asked for the reimbursement, they were not available.
Right,
and
right.
6 were aldermen.
So
Right.
it was a blanket vote. They didn't even go, it was nothing itemized or anything. It just said we're gonna vote this and that was it.
That is
Okay.
correct. And also the bills was not readily, was not available for residents to consume as a copy. And the aldermen that were at the finance committee meeting didn't have the bills list in front of them either.
And who's supposed to get them a copy of what's being voted on?
The comptroller.
The comptroller.
He's supposed to submit it, so it's usually in the packet.
Correct.
That we receive.
Right.
Every now and then, he says it late, but it's, he submits it before the.
Okay, let me ask for clarification, to that. So, the question is, we're discussing money that was already spent.
Yes.
This section here raises an interesting perspective. He's basically saying, why worry about what was spent? How can we, move forward? That's
Well, I think tonight was just for information to understand how we got to the point where we're financially distressed. We, as residents, can only hold our alderpersons accountable for how they're going to go forward, how they're gonna appropriate, like that miscellaneous appropriation and stuff, that, how are they going to budget so that we can start figuring out how to get back into a financially stable position?
And how we can get
So-
fire and police back.
Yeah, how to get the fire and the police back, and so until they step up and do what's right and take a forthright attempt at, putting us back on a financial strategy, it's gonna be the same old thing, because for the 6 years that this administration has been in office, I don't think anything has been done differently. So, I mean, I'm relatively new here, so I don't know how it was, but since I've been here, it hasn't been different than this.
And I think also this, understanding our financial state and how did we get here should be able to inform your vote for 2027.
That part.
And if you feel based on what you're seeing here, what everyone is presenting, if you feel that this current administration is doing what they're supposed to be doing, then by all means go ahead. But if you, as I have, and I feel some others in the room, when you attend finance committee meetings or city council meetings and you leave with more questions than you have answers, I don't know about you, but I like my questions to be answered, especially when these seats and this money that we're talking about, it's not my personal, it's for the people. It's supposed to benefit the public, and we're not benefiting.
And I just wanna add on to that, you leave with more questions in here. Sometimes you're reprimanded for asking
Yeah,
questions.
beat up, leave up
And
out
yelled
there,
at,
assaulted,
and, and
Yeah.
so, that's just.
arrested.
Hey, here's a question of.
Oh, I'm so sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
relatively new to the city myself. I just purchased my home a little over a year ago.
Alright.
But what I'm hearing is that these are repeated actions from my past. How's there no cap on the spending? How can any public
We
official?
follow the home rule for one.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Everything that, I just wanna share this, and this is what we were in the in the hallway talking about 4 people represent 19,000 people here in the city. At a majority vote, those 4 people can always push whatever agenda or whatever they want.
They won't.
And this is what has happened time and time again. We have a locked corner. And so you're not even able on the floor to have a discussion because as soon as a motion to call the question happens and there's a second by another alderperson, that doesn't even allow for discussion anymore. And we keep seeing it happen time and time again because until, like, the mayor has executive power, but the real power on the floor is to the alderperson. The alderpersons right now we were just standing out there, what can we do? We only have 7 firefighters. This man just said that just one person on 146 in Union put out a fire. You know how dangerous. What if he died? What if he died in that fire? You know, beyond losing his life, or in addition to losing his life, how much of a liability that is. But thank God we got people who are willing to go to gusto for the residents of Harvey, but he shouldn't have to have that burden. So we were in the hallway saying, what can we do? The only thing that we really can do is put all the pressure on the alderpersons. The 4th ward and the 2nd ward stand with y'all. And I'm not saying that the other alderpersons don't. But unfortunately, you don't wake up every day and eat the same thing. But every council meeting they come to, they say, yes. They don't answer any questions. They don't respond to any emails. They don't inquire for their behalf of their ward. So the only way I know to do it is we must put the pressure on it. We must call Shirley 50 times. We must call Tyrone 40 times. We must call Dominique Randall L. So on and so forth. We must call them. Right now, all we need are 2 of them to sign off on the agenda that me and Tracy would like to submit to the city council first thing in the morning to say that we must have a special council meeting. And all we need are 2 aldermen to sign the agenda, and we can have that meeting as we're supposed to anyway on Monday, December 8th. But because they're not gonna sign it, and because we're not hearing from them, the only thing that I know is the residents, we must put the pressure on them. And I'm not talking little pressure. Like I said, we must send 1,000 emails or something that's gonna catch the attention enough to say, if you don't step up, you're gonna step aside. That's the only way. That's where the power lies. We're powerless without these 2 additional aldermen. If they want to be 1, 3, 5, or 6, they can take their pick. But we just need 2 more to stand with what we're trying to do so that we can change. Right now, just telling the firemen, as aldermen, we can say, you know what? You don't need an executive assistant, and you don't need a deputy something and this and that. We need that $200,000 to go back into the public safety fund so we can bring on more police officers and more firemen. We got the legislative power to do that, but we're prohibited of that if the 2 don't step up and do their job.
And you have the names of can you just say the names of people who are consistently voting against the interests of the citizens?
Well, we can go by deduction, so we have a 2nd ward alderperson.
Yeah, I do. You know I do. I'm just saying, can we say their names?
Alderperson is Shirley Drewinski. The 3rd ward alderperson is Kalani Smith. The 5th ward alderperson is Dominique Randall L. And the 6th ward alderperson is Tyrone Rogers. So just by deduction, you know who isn't the enemy. So those are the 4, I shouldn't say they're the enemy, I'm sorry. But the 4 that are holdouts or sellouts or however you want to put it, those are the 4 alderpersons.
And
so
I'm
it's
only
the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th.
And I ask that they be identified because sometimes the public, the general public don't even really understand what's happening here, who your alderperson is, and how much they are impacting your everyday life.
That's the reason why we're in this situation now, because if we had 4 strong aldermen, if we got 4 strong aldermen, the mayor only gets to speak when it's a tie. You can totally prevent. Now, you remember right when I had got in, it was 3-3. I don't know if y'all remember when I had got appointed, it was 3-3. And then the mayor, Kellogg, he made the deciding vote. So even when they still voted no, it was 3-3, he made the decision, right there. Aldermen is the ones that generally could be able to run. It's certain powers that the mayor have, but it's only certain, we got 4 strong people. A lot of this stuff, not just even before, put it this way, we didn't just get here. We've been slowly getting here, and everything that I can think of could have been changed. And right now, we could do this tomorrow. We get 4 aldermen, we could go up there tomorrow.
And do something.
And we could demand this 48 hours, we have a meeting Monday, whatever like that. And we could get all this straight, at least get it on the table.
And what's those ward numbers again? That's 6, 5,
3 and 1.
5, 3, and 1.
Say
Just go 1, 3,
Got one question
5,
here,
and 6. That's
1,
it.
3,
1,
5,
3,
and
5, and 6.
Say hypothetically, you get the vote, and you aim to set this form. What is on the table consistent that you're gonna talk about that could have some form of immediate impact? Because right now, we need immediate stuff. We don't need nothing long term. We got too many wrongs, some gotta get right. So what would you have on your agenda that you could tell us, like, look, this is something we can do?
And first thing immediately, reduce his staff. His staff is close to
That's it.
$400,000 right there.
On behalf of the
Reduce
public safety committee.
all the way down to him and just one person.
No more spending, no more
Okay.
spending.
That'll
only
save
on
us
specific.
$300,000 right
Okay,
there.
so you cut
His
that
security detail, the luxury vehicles they
Yeah,
have.
that's
initials
personal,
on the
all
fleet.
personal expenses, all that.
The initials on the
We need to
fleet.
cut his
The
budget.
24-hour camera that he has posted at his house while shootings are happening on the next block. A little girl got killed on the block behind him. Another baby got shot on her way home
That's not answering
from
my
school,
question.
and this is right
That-
by
that's
his house.
important,
Well,
you
that's
understand?
one, but second be our lawyer fees.
Yeah.
Our lawyer fees is hitting us well over,
No, that was wrong. It was
but a year is close to
250,000.
a year.
But most.
But that's a year, that's all
I
we
think,
pay, I thought we paid like
from the
4.
standpoint,
Aisha was saying that there are legal things that fall into the miscellaneous appropriation, so that's just what they claimed as.
I mean, you're not gonna
And do y'all
immediately
know,
find
for example, what
$150
the
million
general fund is?
if that's what you
General
ask.
fund is, that's just a slick way of allocating money. So that means the water expenses that I never received, and I've been on them for 7 years, and only got 20 or 25 out of 107,000 to 50,000, whatever. We put it in the general fund. So now it's in the general fund, you can't ask because it goes in one big pile. They could put that and have an asterisk by it. Well, this 150,000 asterisk, Alderman Key, this 50,000 asterisk, Alderwoman Chapman. That way you'll know that our money went towards that. And see the way that they got it set up. General fund mean that money came from anywhere, wherever money we got. We put it in the general fund. Well, give us a breakdown of the general fund.
But
That's what he killing them at right there, because the money, and he know what he's doing.
But at one of the meetings, Lewis Williams said that, and he contradicted the mayor contradicted him. The mayor said, we don't have money for reimbursements or something like that. And then Lewis Williams said, but reimbursements are already appropriated. So that means they've already allotted money for appropriations. So if you're not giving it to the people who need to be reimbursed, you're mismanaging it.
Yeah, they call it allocating. So
Allocation,
every year,
appropriations.
we're supposed to get 25,000 for beautification. Okay, our salary is 43,000. In addition to our salary, 43,000, we're supposed to receive 25,000 that's allocated. And we understand that it doesn't mean we're gonna get the whole 25,000. But Alderwoman Chapman and me, and I've been there 7 years, I would never ask for 25,000, because I know the city is in debt. Unless it's something great, but if they could come over and do some work in my area, or I can get some employees and stuff, a job up at the street department, I ain't tripping and saying I need that 25. I gotta have it. You owe me this. No, I'm being fair. But if I ask for 4,000 or 5,000 and out of a year, I don't get nothing.
Still can't get it.
Back to the gentleman's question, what would you like to see on the agenda that you think will make a big impact?
Immediately, I would love to see something done with the housing situation. First and foremost, we got too many abandoned houses open. Tear them down.
That's not an
Then
immediate
more
thing.
people could come in.
You know how long that takes? That's not
Well,
you can't
someone-
immediately just do that. You know how long, you know it takes 15,000, at least 15,000, at least up to anywhere from 30 or more thousand just to demolish the house. That's why we got so many houses right there that the city owned, they burnt. We still gotta pay like $15,000 just to get that. In order to do it, it'll take so long. We need something
Can
immediate.
we, let him finish? 'Cause I don't think
Yeah,
he's
go ahead. I
done
don't
with
think
his
he finished with his
comments.
question.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
No, that's quite, see, I'm not into, what's already happened, let's focus on what you gotta do to fix things. And right now, this whole meeting to me is a little bit backwards.
Well, we can do both. We can walk and chew bubble gum. We can reflect on the past
No, I get
and
it. No,
still
that's-
move forward.
That's true, but you need people with boots on the ground that's gonna do something. And it takes numbers to do it. And, I think right now, the city, the village of Harvey have a stigma about itself. You got people that's automatically think that nothing never gonna get fixed, so they don't even come out to try to help. So if somebody's starting to see something being done in the smallest way, it change their attitudes, and then, the ball get to rolling. But as long as we stand here fighting each other and it's not get done, it's a vicious cycle.
I believe that what's gonna be central to Harvey changing is going to be raising the morale of the people, to get them to start caring about where they live. But here, this is what I've researched about these abandoned properties. They're pretty much owned by one particular bank. The man that lived in the White House is friends with them. Is it Douche Bank or Dush? I can't pronounce it. Douche Bank.
Yeah,
They own pretty much the majority of all of these abandoned properties, JP Morgan, and big banks like that. But the hope in that is that, like, for instance, Homewood and a few other south suburban areas did bring a class action lawsuit against these banks, because if this was a more affluent community, because they are the reason for the financial collapse of people losing their homes and having to abandon their properties, and they are supposed to upkeep those properties. If this was a more affluent community, the bank would be responsible for sending someone out to cut the grass, to board up the property. That's their expense.
So
Once a house goes through foreclosure, that's that bank's responsibility. One of the solutions that I would suggest is to take care of whatever we can and build those banks. There are whole communities who have been successful in suing banks for the condition of their community. And what we're seeing now is a trend that, prior to, I want to say like the 2000s, they never used eminent domain in the way in which they're using it now. So how they do us is they withdraw all services from us. They allow our communities to go in disrepair. They use the term blight and then come and do a full land grab. But if we were holding the banks accountable, there will be no way for them to deem our city blighted, because the bank would be responsible for the damage that they did to black communities. And I'm gonna be specific. So that's what's my.
Real quick. If you didn't know this is how the banks get around a lot of this. A lot of people own their houses and don't even know they own it.
Yep.
They gave the houses back to the owner and walked away and they write off and they
They sure do.
90% of these houses vacant and leaning to the left.
Yep.
That person who's still there own that house. The bank have nothing to do with it.
Well, from my research, they do. They still own
You
it.
gotta do some more research. I got a list, very long, and I do skip tracing. And
I
I
do
know
too,
too
10
many
years
properties.
later.
I got a list too many properties right now that I could call a person and don't even know that the property is theirs anymore. So that's how the banks get away.
I have a quick question. What kind of community am I living in, whereas you are finding me because my yard's not cut, and my garage is not right,
Right.
but you won't go find that bank?
Right.
I don't
And that's what I'm talking about.
I don't understand. Did this person want to find me?
No, so, and I appreciate everybody's comments, and a lot of the things when we're, and, because you're the second person in the room that said, well, why we talk about the past, we talk about the future. The purpose of this is to understand how much mistakes we made to position ourselves for what we can do for the future. So as mentioned, a lot of the properties that are blighted, a good chunk of those are owned by the city. But then what can the city do? Got you. We have an economic development committee that has not met since February officially. And the last one was for April, where Huntington Bank was there, CCLF, Chicago Community Loan Fund, which are organizations and banks and CDFIs can assist individuals and organizations with that. However, we have not had a meeting. Our economic development director is no longer an employee of the city. So what is happening is a lot of the people that have these economic development projects, they are going unresponsive and unheard. We had a gentleman here who has his own money in equity to want to do redevelopment projects. They won't even respond to emails. Somebody that has a couple $100,000 in pocket ready to put into the city, but you won't answer their emails. So a lot of the things that you're saying are amazing, but that's what we're talking about right now is putting us in position for 2027 and beyond. Because we haven't had an economic development committee meeting. When we go to the finance committee meetings, they don't even bring the bills. It's like what we're looking at right now is not readily available to us as residents. And then the aldermen who are voting on these bills are voting unanimously without the numbers even being there. So the purpose of this is for you all, we as a people, to use our minds and our talents to put pressure on this administration. But this administration, and like many other corrupt administrations, they're only gonna respond to Foia and legal. We can go out there and chant all day long, and that's great, don't get me wrong. Using our bodies to resist is good too. But unfortunately, until you slap them with a lawsuit, until you slap them with the Foia, because by law you need to answer this is the only way they're gonna really respond. And there's power in numbers. So I understand how you always talk about the past, but we can't know where we're going if we don't understand where we've been. And so I just wanted to.
And can I just add to that the city is from a revenue standpoint, from a profit standpoint, is earning $24,000 annually on pieces of paper. They charge $25 for a real estate application. At 4 people a day, that's $100, $500 a week, times that by 52 weeks, that's $24,000 that they're earning printed off a piece of paper. And none of those people are ever contacted back. That's to apply for an abandoned property, right? So they've just figured out a loophole. I just was sharing with you all that on Thursday, October 2nd, Burlington Homes would retrieve 9 properties from the city, 9 parcels. That's even better than properties because they got land, so they really own it. It was never disclosed how much we sold it for. And who are these people? You know, where did they come from? And how did they get 9 pieces of property instead of you and you all?
Then it was a new LLC.
That just went into inception on Thursday, October 2nd. No, because that's my birthday. You know what I mean?
So
literally.
Yes.
Wow.
Literally.
3 weeks later.
So it's not a business that have tenure that's been in the community. It's a brand new
Business.
company.
They got 9 properties, and the maximum amount of a sold property is $249,500. So you talking 3 properties, that's $1 million. So $1 million times that by 9. Look at how, $3 million across 9 properties, if sold. 1 level homes.
And it's all lawyers on that investment. I looked it up too.
So then how can they come in? Or right here in the 2nd ward, the building that sits just to the rear of when you cross over 159 at Center, Alex's Butcher, the same people who own that, they got that property for $10. Okay, the same paint. Let's talk about. Let me just go there. Look at the paint on the hoods. Right? Everybody see the gray paint on the hoods? Isn't that the same gray paint on the 2 buildings that's owned by some investors that are in with this administration when you come down 154th Street? Those old abandoned row homes, there are 4 of them painted the same colors. All of that, the same color of the home that's next door to the mayor's home that's painted that same color. So my point is they're doing it, they're just doing it with their people. And Alex's Butcher is a whoever that gentleman is, J&T, the J&T group, they're all together. They are ramrodding our city. That's why tonight, in the next couple of minutes, when we jump into what is a FOIA, we need everybody in here to submit a FOIA. Not only that, we need everybody to reach out to the aldermen. We're gonna provide their numbers. Call them right now. Send them a text. Send them an email. what are you all doing to move the needle forward? We need two. We can stop all of this with two of those aldermen. So.
See, being, at the time that I done been in here, alderman, before Clark's became mayor, when he was an alderman, and Kellogg was mayor, it's been nothing but chaos. It's been nothing but a whole process. Everything is going. That's why I may be so outspoken and I have so much to say, because I know what I've been through, but I do take the knowledge that I have and I do spread it on. All the questions that we're asking and all the things that we're coming to, I mean, this has already been a plan. Gentrification is like a 30-year process, okay?
Yes.
I learned that from working at the bank downtown when I first started working down there. I was 19 years old. You said gentrification, you say, you know what, it's a 30-year plan. That's what they would call it, a 30-year plan. It seemed like a long time, because you know what, black people ain't got enough patience to do it. But 30 years, I noticed when I saw the building and all the houses and the community neighborhoods and everything all around there, everybody can come down there, we can park for free, we can do all this and everything. Now, as years passed, and remember we was trying to have the Olympics and the mayor spent all the money to change the lake. Remember we went from driving to the lakefront and just sitting on all the way on the beach where the water, we could drive in there. Now you gotta pay for a meter. You go downtown, they got these condos, $250,000 a month.
Right with a project.
A month? Who you don't got money, like that? All this stuff happened. That's when it just, but it started in Harvey years ago to decline. Now, Mayor Haynes, when he left, he said that once he leaves, this city will never be back on this. It'll take at least 30 or 40 years for this city to be back on this feet. Now you see everything that we're going through right now. So the writing has already been on the wall. Now let me take this a little further. When I became an inspector, before I became an alderman, I was an inspector. What I would do is that I would go to the houses and I'd take a list of all the vacant houses and find out who owns them. And like brother over here, when he was saying that the bank didn't own it, what it is that the bank, I take your property, but I keep it in your name and I never registered it in my property. So the tax is still gonna be coming to your name. They're not gonna never come to you. It just sits there. Nobody's paying anything because I haven't transferred it over back to myself yet. I just keep it in your name. You long gone, they can't come, you connecting everything, and it takes a while for their process. That's why these properties just sit there. So as they sit there, so when I became alderman, the first thing I did, I bought a lawnmower, I bought a lawn tractor, snowball, everything. I would come by, I would cut the grass. I would come by on the side, trim the hedges down. I'd take a before and an after picture. I would request that the mayor tell them to send an inspector by there to show me doing it. And when they see me doing it, issue them a $500 fine for the grass, a $500 fine for the weeds, and a $500 fine for if it needs to be boarded up or whatever like that. Once we get it up to a certain amount of money, 4,000 or 5,000, you know what I mean? And they see I'm out here helping with the city too and doing it. All we had to do then was simply go to the county, put a lien on the house. With proof that this is how it looked and this is how it looked afterwards. Now, some inspectors, they'll try to give you tickets every certain minute, but if it's certain garbage, you have 30 certain many days. We give you 3 to 5 days. We put a warning right there. After that, we put a ticket until that garbage is picked on up. If we have to call the city to come and pick up that money, pick up that garbage, that's a fine for that. You know how much it costs just to operate the city? Just say if you just needed one job, one load picked on up, just to open up the city and open up the doors, turn on the lights, start the tractor on up, pay the work and everything, just to go and get that one job and come back there, that's like $1,000 a day for operating expenses just to operate. But I would come out there and do it. And I just said, just come here and get the information. So we had list after list after that. This is important. It's called Dillner and Associates. His name is Scott. I would turn all the information in to him, to Ms. Rufus, right? And what he would do, his job would be to go and to file it at the Markham Courthouse, to put the liens on it. When Clark got in, he immediately got rid of him. Okay, with money still on the table. So we still owed him hundreds of thousands for claims, stack of houses like this. That all he had to do was go to the Markham Courthouse and it's like, it'd be like anywhere between $500 and $900 to do all the processing. You know what I mean? To change it over and over. And then the court fees for him to go to court to get that. So that was money that was going to be generated, but he didn't want the properties to be up under, he wanted to where he would get control of the property. So it ain't like he the first mayor to do it. He just had the opportunity to do it because he was mayor. So we left all that money on the table, all these deeds and everything that he's still waiting on them to file for. And all this work that I put in and everything with proof that we did this on a consistent basis where we couldn't. So he left that and we went with Absolute. You know, and of course, when they left him and stuff, I had questions and everything, but he was the new mayor. He, you know, hey, you gotta give him an opportunity. That's when he should have came in and be like, hey, we in debt. I gotta do this. I gotta be tight. We gotta change these expenses. We gotta do this. And meanwhile, stop spending your money, but he didn't do that. He came in and started bogarting and started making decisions and then making people that meet us out there trying to help saying, that ain't your job. That ain't your job to do that. That ain't your job to do that. But we left all that money on the table through Dillon and Associates. It's right there out in Homewood. You go down 159th. It's right by Thornwood High School. If you keep going up right there, Scott's name is Scott Dillon. All that money, we left that on the table. Changed everything. The process was already set. But if they already got their plan, they got their plan. The only thing we can do is sit here and fight it, because the three things that's gonna make you leave your property is property taxes, vacant houses all on your block, and crime.
Yep.
Those three things is gonna make you get up and just leave. And that process has been going on, and that's what I'm talking, because I know exactly what they're doing. This is a plan that's so far in place. The only thing we can do is the people to vote them out of
The
there.
Harvey put liens on homes?
Yes.
I'm sorry, okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, because we kind of, almost at time, and we wanted to just shift gears a little bit. Based on the information that you all have presented, the way we can take this a step further, going off of, we need to put pressure on the administration. We can use our bodies, we can use our voices, but we can also use our phones and our laptops. And what does that mean and look like? So it means basically FOIA. Now, this is a template of how do you complete a FOIA. Does anyone understand what FOIA means?
No.
Freedom of Information Act. So this presentation is from the BGA, the Better Government Association. Does anyone know what the BGA is? The BGA is an organization that basically makes sure that governments are doing what they are supposed to do, from the local level all the way up to federal. So this is just kind of an overview of how we as residents have the right to request information that is pertinent to our city. So again, they have amazing resources and information that you can look up as well. FOIA, again, Freedom of Information Act. Anything dealing with the city is information that we are privy to because we live here in this city. Even as a resident of Illinois, you have access to information at the state level because you are a resident of the state of Illinois. Because you are a resident of the city of Harvey, you have the right to access information that is pertaining to the city. And they have the obligation to provide you with that information. Why is that important? The reason why it's important is this is how we hold government accountable. So when we talk about, oh, you know, you can go to city council meetings, we can do public comment, you can speak with your alderman, and those are amazing, great things as well. But this is also equally as important, is requesting information because they legally have to give it to you. Because again, your driver's license, where you lay your head at night, is the city of Harvey. You have the right to understand where your money is going, what decisions are being made for this city. Okay, so what do we do with the FOIA? So the FOIA can be reports, writings, letters, emails, contracts, text messages, electronic records, data. All of those things can be FOIA, which is, you can submit a request for that information from the city. What does that look like? What are some examples? Public employees, personnel, and disciplinary files. Police reports. Even if it's not your police report, you can still obtain it. Arrest report. Payroll data. Business license data. 311 requests. Restaurant inspections. Who can FOIA? Everybody in this room? All of you all, because you are a resident of this city, you have the right to do that. Now again, Clerk's Department, Department of Public Works, Planning and Zoning, Police Department, legislative, executive, administrative bodies, even at the federal level as well. Now, FOIA, now every city has a FOIA officer. It could be the clerk, sometimes it's another employee, sometimes it's the mayor, it could be a little bit of everyone. Tracy or Kobe, can you tell us who's the current FOIA officer for the city?
Yes, and in most municipalities, it's gonna be the clerk, who is Rosa Arambula.
So, Ms. Rosa,
Either one that's, you know.
yes, yes.
Is that the big, the tall? Straight like this?
So what do you, so here we go, because we talked about a lot of information. What can you request? And to be quite honest, what is important to you? What do you want to know? So for example, with myself, I have forwarded a police report involving an elected official here in the city of Harvey. Because I need to understand what happened and how it happened. Because it didn't make sense to me. That police report was sent to me. Now, some of the information is redacted. And the reason for that is some personal information will not be given to you. And that's just to create a form of protection. But that overarching police report was sent to me. I have also FOIA financial records that, funny enough, have been denied. Interesting how the public's money and the record of the public's money is not available to the public.
You can't.
Yes.
Did you turn it into the public access officer once it was denied?
No, I have not.
So you have 6 days after you put in a FOIA that's denied to write the public access officer of the Attorney General's office to say, this is public information, it was denied. You have to turn in your original FOIA where they denied you and your original request. You send all of this to the public access officer. They will respond to you and say, I will find out. You only have 60 days. So when you put in a FOIA, you need to set a reminder. They have 5 days to answer, but you have 60 days to appeal a denial. So you just have to follow it. And when they send you back an answer, they have to answer the Attorney General's office and they have to answer you. If they answer you and you feel like the answer is incorrect, you can still go back to the public access officer and say, this is not true. In a meeting dated such and so on the agenda and in the minutes, this is what was said. So you just have to keep up with it.
Thank you for that. And so with FOIAs, it can never be verbal. So this is not a go to City Hall, I want you to give me every police report. That's not gonna happen. Okay, let me just start there. So it has to be submitted in writing. That's number one. Yes. So one has to be submitted. Now, and let me also say this, because while public information is, in my opinion, a legal right, they are not required to answer questions or create records on the fly. However, the information that you are requesting should already be readily available because this is the purpose of government. So asking for October bank statements for the Harvey General Fund, that's information that should be readily available because it's not like it has to be created. The redevelopment agreement between the city of Harvey and Lexington Homes, Turlington Homes and the city of Harvey, well, in order for it to get to the city council meeting in the last couple of weeks, there obviously had to be an agreement. What is that agreement and what does it spell out? If the city of Harvey has a contract with a cybersecurity firm, I should be able to access that. That's not something you have to pull out the fly, because in order for them to do work for the city, there has to be some parameters in place. Like, what do we pay them monthly? What is the legal clause if they're not doing their job? Is there a payment penalty for severing the contract? All of those things should be documented. So it's important when you're framing it to say, and I'll just give you all an example. I am requesting October 2025 bank statement for Harvey General Fund. Okay, so that's 1 month of a bank statement. It shouldn't be hard for them to provide to you, seeing as how the bank is generating this monthly statement. It's not something they have to pull out of thin air. Or if you want to see an agreement between the city of Harvey and WW Consulting, that is something that they should be able to provide for you, because according to the bills list, what you saw, this is a vendor. So if you all even want to pull certain vendor contracts and say, well, what are we paying them to do? And then as a resident, you can make your own deductive reason to say, have they fulfilled their obligations? Now, what's super important about FOIAs is to make sure they're narrow. While you have every right to request 5 years of financials, but what I will tell you with this administration and other administrations that are doing some shaky dealings, that's the easiest way for them to tell you no. Oh, 5 years, that's burdensome. We just don't have that. It's not burdensome to ask for 1 month of a bank statement. It's not burdensome to ask for a vendor agreement. So also be strategic with your FOIA request as well. If there's a specific question you want answered, please make sure when you're framing your request that it is very niche and very specific, because you don't want, and not just this administration, but anybody else you want to FOIA, you don't want them to find a loophole to get out.
And
Because you want
burdensome
your
is really
answers.
not a real response. That's against the Illinois code for them to say that it's burdensome. I actually pulled the statute and emailed it to them, and then they still didn't reply.
And for particular, and thank you for that, because that's an answer that we receive. Oh, it's burdensome. What is burdensome about pulling data that should be already available? That's the issue. Now, when you're requesting the FOIA, it can either be printed or electronic. Most recently, when I did file a FOIA with the city of Harvey, they did send it to me electronically. I did request it to be sent electronically. It was just easier for me to have in my inbox, and I can review when necessary. If this is something that you want printed, you can request that, but again, because we're dealing with a very interesting group of people, you don't want that to be the issue as to why if I FOIA 3 months of bank statements and I get to City Hall, oh, we don't have time to print that, come back. Then now we're starting now I gotta chase you. So requesting something in electronic format that can be emailed to you will be the most advantageous. Okay. I'm gonna skip on down here. Okay. So what I can do now is actually, here's a sample request here. Now, and this is just some text that you can get from the BGA website, and you can kind of copy and paste into an email. And so essentially, thank you. So it can be in accordance with the Illinois Freedom of Information Act. I request access to records in your organization's possession related to economic development, including but not limited to, and you can put here, redevelopment agreement with Turlington Homes and the city of Harvey. Y'all just signed off on that, so you should be able to find it. And then you can put this information as well. But again, the most top part is pretty self-explanatory, and then you can just say, I am requesting this to be sent via electronic, via the email that you provide. Now, and then you also put at the bottom, please provide that information within 5 days as required by law. I believe it's at 5 business days or calendar days. Business days, and it's super important as well, because Saturday and Sunday don't count. So if you submit a FOIA request on Sunday, they may respond. If you submit a FOIA on Saturday, they'll respond Monday. Monday starts the clock. So then by Friday, they should have some sort of a response, whether they're providing with that documentation or they're telling you it's burdensome. Or asking for an extension. Or yes, or a request for an extension as well. So again, keep in mind, 5 business days. We always talk about an extension of up to additional 5 business days. So a FOIA request can take anywhere between 5 to 10 business days. Oh, no response is a denial. Call about requests and keep records of everything, calls, emails, and requests. One thing that's super important that I know Ryan has also done is he created an Excel spreadsheet of all the FOIA requests he's done. And it's super important because you don't want to request something, kind of forget about it, and then you're not either responding or replying like, hey, I submitted a FOIA and I haven't received a response, requesting an update. So keeping a notebook of some sort or an Excel spreadsheet of your FOIA request will be important as well, especially if you have different questions or something that you're trying to piece together and understand, but you probably would need multiple pieces of information to get that to that answer you're looking for. Okay. What if they deny me? Which can very well happen. They must tell you why. So the response that Ms. Vivian spoke about was burdensome. Or you may hear that information is not available. Why is that information not available? It's very interesting to me. But I can understand if you're asking for a development agreement from 1964. Now, that might not be available. That's understandable. But my personal belief is, as far as financial documents and business documents are concerned, whether it's personal or business, something within the last 5 to 7 years should be something that's searchable and be able to be pulled. Now, if you ask it and again, you asking for something over 20-some years ago,
They're supposed to house.
they
those
should
in have
have
the
it.
warehouse.
It should be
Yeah,
had
they're supposed to be housed
digitally
in
or
the warehouse.
physically.
Yep.
But again, I can see that, that's burdensome or that's not readily available, which is a way for them to try to get out of providing that information. So, in the event you're denied, now what happens? You can accept it and move on. Or as mentioned, you can request a review within 60 days to the public access counselor, who, again, this is under the Attorney General of Illinois. And you can file an administrative appeal. Or if you got time, you can always file a lawsuit as well, which people have done and have been successful at. Again, because the information that we're providing is public.
Say, who did it?
Harvey World
Please
Herald.
say it. Harvey World, they just sued.
Harvey World Herald.
Harvey World Herald, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've done that quite a
Because they
time.
didn't get
The
the
digital news,
information they
paper.
were requesting.
And thank you for bringing that up. So media, we should do Harvey World Herald.
Finance for this. We should sue City of Harvey for not giving us the financial reports.
So here's an option two. So we've seen media, individuals, and collective individuals, residents come together to file a lawsuit when the event of the request that you're making is not being fulfilled. That is an option for you. Now, in the event you're denied and you want to request an appeal, where does it go? Here we go. You will send it to this email address here, which is publicaccess@ilag.gov. You can also mail it to Springfield as well. Again, the importance of this, FOIAs have to be written. So I understand if you like, I want to call them. I'm going to be very honest, they may not answer the phone. So, but they do have to respond in writing because it is documented and timestamped. So, in the event you're denied and you want to send an appeal, this is where it will go as far as the Illinois Attorney General's office.
Are you gonna email that out to people so they can have that?
Yes, I can. So if you signed up today, when you walked in, we can send you this. Again, this is with the BGA Association, so we can send out this on PowerPoint as well, so you can read over it too.
You send all the auditors, information too?
Yes, I can. So we
I
can
just
send.
sent it to you. I just sent you everything. I just sent to you a slide with all the persons on it.
While she's looking that up, did anybody have any questions about what we just went over as far as FOIAs are concerned? Has anyone ever done a FOIA before? You could raise your hand. Okay, okay, we got some public access folks in the room. Has anyone never done it and possibly are interested? All right, we got ones and twosies. Okay, okay.
But it sounds like it's either I'm gonna be outweighted, outpoliticked, or bamboozled. With this FOIA thing. Because my
Not
life
if
is
we
busy.
all send them.
I have to work just to support me and my family.
No, as a group.
You know
That's
what?
why we do it as a
With
group.
The existence of ChatGPT.
Have to send everybody the same reply.
It'll probably write one for you.
No, but we can copy and paste and just email it out if everybody.
said very
email
fast.
it.
We don't even have to do that. Oh, you have it, okay.
Okay,
No, I'm just saying like one formal letter that everybody sends strategically.
Hey, Amanda,
Yes.
can I ask you a question? Is it possible to send a group FOIA?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what,
That's,
oh, well.
Well, is it a limit or something, or just a group FOIA? Like
But I think the whole purpose.
It has to be
the same.
individual or what?
The language should be the same no
The
matter
language,
what.
yeah, I do believe it has
No,
to be
it's better if it's
individualized, not really
individual.
as a
They don't
collective.
do.
That's what I was gonna say, the
Yeah.
whole purpose of it is
Yeah.
Well,
to,
what we're about to bring up
and,
now,
you know,
there is language
to
that
flood them
everyone
with the
can
request.
use, right,
Yeah.
that will be acceptable.
Just copy and paste it.
If you get denied and you send something to the public access officer, make sure that they respond to you. They have to respond saying, I have received your request for an investigation. You must get that response from them. If you don't, email them again.
Now, they good at doing that, replying back. It's just they take you forever to get it. And their first thing they do is let you know, we receive your request. Please wait 3 to 5 business days. Not 3 to 5 business days. We need an extension. Then they get an extension. Then when you get what you want, it ain't what you want. Now you got to start it back over again. You know, they do that first. That just buys them time, and that's what they're good at.
I've had varying experiences, but if you get to a point where you feel like they're asking for too many extensions, you can ask for a binding opinion. There's a FOIA lawyer here in Illinois. He only does FOIAs, and you do not need money to request his services, because he gets paid when the village pay you out for not answering your FOIA.
So it's contingent.
That's great.
So,
my question is this, so I was, arrested in June, of false arrest. I was taken from my home, held, during the heat wave this year in a room with no windows, for 10 hours. My solution to that was to pray. The moment I started to pray and practice, my faith, I was then made to be as if I was crazy. I was then taken to Ingalls Memorial Hospital, where I was having a normal reaction to being kidnapped from my home, falsely arrested, which means I was highly upset. They took it upon themselves to then shoot me up with tranquilizers, force medicated me, let me go, no charges. The question is this. Question is this. Now, I placed them on notice for evidence spoilage in case of a pending lawsuit, but they don't have to honor that. So, say for instance, I do this FOIA, and like I said, I was never charged with anything, no court date, no anything. I was simply medicated, and I walked home barefooted. That said, what if they say, we don't have no record of your arrest?
I mean, they can legally because there was no report number generated. So there is a bit of risk, right? But you should FOI regardless, because you should actually FOI the 911 center, for how did they end up at your home?
Because Clark's henchmen. They the same ones that arrested my older woman. So these are police officers that take direct orders from Mayor Clark to go and harass people who dissent, people who disagree with him. And now, my question is only because I'm vocal and I know my rights. How many other people has this happened to? And you know, people, they get shot up with medication and never come back. You know what I'm saying? So it was only because of my knowledge about how those types of drugs operate that I was able to do self-talk to keep my mind from going somewhere else. So that said, if we have this amount of corruption
And what the Bible says is that if you have one corrupt person, there's yet another one who sits higher than they are, that they're answering to. And even him, there's yet another person. So there is somebody who knows exactly what's going on in Harvey.
A lot of people.
And they aren't doing anything about it.
They will soon.
So I'm just,
It's gonna happen.
I would love for you guys to Foia my arrest. My name is Melissa Crowley. It happened June the 24th. I think it was June 24th. So I'm just very concerned that some of the stuff that we will be asking for, they can simply stonewall and say it was never a record of it to begin with.
The dispatch call.
They didn't, you know, they didn't go through dispatch.
Right, because they went straight to her house. Remember,
They
she was on
came
live.
straight to my house.
She was on
It
live.
wasn't nothing.
But that's the point, we needed documented that there was no dispatch.
Yep. That's how we
So they
did it.
have to say it wasn't.
And even the collusion with Ingalls.
And
They
also-
have a disrespect for this.
Also, the police vehicle should have a GPS.
Absolutely, and body cam.
Yep, all that.
Body cam footage.
Yeah.
So even if, like you said, they, all these different ways to get something occurred and it was documented somewhere by someone. So it was the dispatch, how did you get here? The body cam, the GPS.
They had to write a report.
Well, of course, your hospital records, because they're yours, so you can get, incident report. So even if they can say, oh, there was no police report, okay, well, I got body cam, I got here, you got the ambulance,
Clark video.
you got
I
all
wanna
these,
tell
you got all
y'all,
of these
it was
things,
done.
something occurred. Just because they didn't officially do it doesn't mean all of these don't point to that evidence.
And I wanna tell y'all, the manner in which it was done was so casual. So everybody was so on board that it's scary. You know what I'm saying? This could be your child, your mama, it was so scary that how here I sit on 3 hospital boards for patient advocacy, and they've since distanced themselves from me because it was me holding their constituents accountable. And to have someone do that to you in such a casual manner, I don't think that we as citizens even really understand the type of danger that we are in. You know, we have vulnerable people in our community who can't speak for themselves. And I believe that the reason that happened to me, and we laugh and we joke amongst my friends about my missing tooth, but I lost my tooth in April. So when people perceive you to be a certain way until you open your mouth and they able to see that you're articulate, which I don't believe that articulation is a measure of intelligence, because I don't think there's plenty of intelligent people who can't say what they feel, who can't articulate what they feel, but it makes them no less intelligent. And I'm saying that to say, just because we see vulnerable people on drugs and stuff that come in our community, that don't mean that they lack love, that they lack knowledge, that you know,
That you can treat them anyway.
that you could treat them any kind of way. But if we got all the people who are willing to just disregard.
You see how they let Jedediah Brown run around? Did anybody even know that what the mayor's around Jedediah Brown?
Hold on, I'm sorry, you guys, because we're over time. Sorry, guys. I want to hold everyone's time. So this, what we're looking at now is a list of aldermen. The first ward is Alderman Jurinski. The second ward is Kobe Chapman. The third ward is Delaney Smith. The fourth ward, Tracy P. The
Change
fifth
my
ward.
number too, if you can't change it on there, but I'd rather be called for my cell phone number, because my phone, I believe they be hacking in, so I'm not gonna I don't even answer that phone.
And then the fifth ward is
Anybody want my number,
Dominique.
708-642-1193.
And then sixth ward, Alderman Rogers. So all of these emails is their City of Harvey email, so they're supposed to be responding to that as well.
Are those landlines for the 990 numbers or the
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe there are the
They
landlines.
hack lines.
And if you don't know, so we
I've been here long enough to
So
know.
here's some, FOIA questions to ask if you don't know what to ask, or maybe just to kind of gauge your mind as to what you can ask. Number one, financial records, follow the money. These are, and this is verbiage that you can literally copy and paste into your request. Payroll and overtime, how much are people getting paid? Layoff, staffing and public safety. What are the layoff notices? We just saw them lay people off. Governance, meetings, and transparency. Any city council meeting and or committee meetings that you would like to see. Now, I will say the website does have city council meetings. The finance committee meeting agenda and notes are not readily available. Even if you were to physically go to the meeting, they may have printed agenda, they may have not. And even after that meeting, that agenda is not available. So just to want to give you a heads up. So the overall city council meeting notes and agenda is on the website for the most part, but the subcommittees, economic development, finance, those things are not available. Water fund and infrastructure. What is the water fund revenue for this year? So these are things that you can request through FOIA. If you don't know what to ask, here's a great starting point. Now, how do you FOIA? You can go to the City of Harvey website. I'm gonna click here so you can see where it is. So, if you even want to go to the City of Harvey website, the link we'll send out takes you right here. So now you go here. To submit a FOIA request, you can click here.
Everybody know how to get to the website, right?
Yeah. So now it's only in the portal that you can submit them?
No, you can go.
You can still, yeah.
But we want, so,
No, that's what I mean.
can everybody get their phones out? We wanna submit a FOIA tonight. We want everybody, sir, before you go, sir, we'd love for you to submit a FOIA with us.
Not a problem.
Okay, so if everybody could get their cell phone out. City of Harvey, IL.gov. We had those sweat, and I don't mean to interrupt, but we wanna make sure that before you leave today, that everybody's submitting
Okay.
a FOIA.
So,
It could be the same thing or something.
even if it's just one thing, we can decide what that one thing is that we all can collectively do together. And if you do more after this, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But let's just start as something collectively we can do together. So, raise your hand if you want something finance related.
That's pretty much everybody. Finance it is.
Okay.
Everybody got their phone out, City of Harvey,
Finance related.
IL.gov.
Okay, subset of that. Would we like a bank statement or a contract? What would we like to FOIA?
We want to see
How
the
much is
bank
that
statement.
security?
Bank statement.
That's true.
Right. See, here's the, when you do
I like
too
the
much,
bank
that's how to
statement.
say. Okay, bank statement.
Aisha.
City of Harvey.
Go underneath Office of the Clerk. I'm sorry.
The IL.gov.
So do we want to FOIA,
It's under elected officials.
Can't talk to you.
Aisha, is it Harvey General Fund, October? Is that the name of our account?
Elected officials.
How? I didn't even, we ain't got it.
Office of the clerk.
Okay. So how does everyone feel about FOIA
Okay, I
in
know her
October
face
2025 bank statement related to the Harvey General Fund?
You said the word.
October 2025 bank statement for the Harvey General Fund.
We're gonna walk it through. So we all saying the same thing on the FOIA.
So I don't know if it's different on the phone, but I don't see FOIA.
Go, scroll down.
Yeah, it's definitely different on the.
Yeah.
Submit a request.
They're gonna email it to us.
You gotta create an account too.
Okay. So, you
They
know
throw
what?
up all
We can
type
just
of
do the
barriers.
email. Okay, so here's how it goes. So the last time I FOIA, I had not created a public records account like what you guys can see here. But we can't, does everyone have
You
their
go to how
email?
do I? If you're on mobile, go to how do I? And then,
But see, I have a login. That's what I'm saying. If you want to do just the email, that's an easy way for everybody to do it tonight, as opposed to going to the website, creating the login, then doing it. Is that cool with everyone?
So we just gonna use the clerk's email.
You can't
Amanda, if you notice,
Yes.
the computer, when you log in on the laptop, they give you a whole different navigation when you're on the cell phone.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. It shows different. Unless you press one thing, you all mess up on the cell phone.
That's what I was gonna say. I think the email is easier as opposed to create the log. It might be extra steps. Yeah, me too. But even if you already do, you can log in. I mean, you can send an email, they're gonna directly log in, yes.
Why are we only doing it for October? If everybody chooses a month, then we can get the whole year.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So what happens is when you request all of that information, that's an easy way for them to say that it's too burdensome.
Oh, so
No, he's saying if we all requested a different month, each of us, one from January, somebody might do one for February.
And then we just share it.
And we can share it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Break it down.
No, okay. So, I'm sorry, what's your name? Mr. Atkinson brought up, is it 12 people in the room? Yeah. More than 12. If everybody requests a different month of the bank statement for the Harvey General Fund.
Shout out to the government.
Okay. Okay, so 12, where we wanna start?
So who's January? January.
I take February, that's my birthday.
I'm taking March.
I have an account, but I don't know my password. I have to look it up.
Okay.
I have to look it. I don't know about.
We're gonna send it to the email right now. Just send it to the clerk's email for now.
Okay. What,
I got August.
April.
April. Okay. May. I'm on May. May.
I'll do May.
May, June.
No,
Who's gonna do
so
June?
another thing, let me.
I do February and
Don't
June.
forget, we haven't gotten to November and December yet. So we only have 10 months.
Okay. And he been.
Well, November.
You could go back 2 years though.
Yeah, that's true. Also, you know what, we should say then, we should say, we want for 2023 to 2025 January, 2023 to 2025 February.
That might,
They gonna
that
dump
burdensome.
Okay, yeah, y'all right.
Yeah, that's, they gonna call that.
You work in the
burdensome.
office, you already in the mile.
You said what?
I thought you worked in the office, you are in the mile.
January 24 and January 25.
Yeah.
How burdensome is that?
Because
And
that's
just for
the January.
yeah.
Well, then that means whatever month that you're assigned to, you would ask that.
Right.
For the different years, okay. So if I'm taking February, I'm gonna ask for February 23, 24, and 25.
Did everybody see, I think we should send it to both. We should send it to R Arambula, like it says up here. R as in Randy, A as in Alpha, R as in Randy, A as in Alpha, M as in man, B as in boy, U, I hate to use the word ugly, but U as in ugly.
Umbrella.
There we go, umbrella. That was it. L as in Larry, A as in Apple, at City of Harvey, IL.gov, but I think we should also put the other one, because then they'll say, well, we didn't get what was the email address up there?
Anybody did not sign the sign-in sheet?
Anybody else here? Hey, remember?
It is city clerk at City of Harvey.
They're here. Has anybody not signed the sign-in sheet that needs to?
So we see R Romula, everybody got that?
It's right up here.
Mr. Deere, what you say for yours?
I got it, now I got it.
Email, and then we're gonna type it back.
Everybody see that?
And then I'll do it.
I could keep these on.
Should we only do it for the general fund?
Everybody got that?
And I'm still typing R-A-M.
You don't know.
They don't like them. Even
They don't like nobody.
At City of Harvey,
Even though he got a
IL.gov.
they don't care about that.
Just cause they don't know this.
Always.
A tad joker.
And
Oh, wait.
cityofharvey.il.gov. But we also need to put another email address on there, and that's this one, because that's the one listed on the website.
I left off at June. Oh, wait, Melissa, you said June.
I'm gonna do February and June.
City of
Well, I was
Harvey,
okay, May, June, who had July?
I thought,
Ramona had July. She's at August.
July.
You got July. Who has August?
Right here, D-Love said.
Oh, you have August. Who has September? Do
So
your
this
thing
is the
again.
other
I'll
email
take
address.
Frank.
In addition to the Arrival, you also put,
Print again, one more time.
the other.
D-Love.
I'm making.
Hey, Miss Melissa.
City of Harvey.
But we got city clerk, right? Did we get that one?
Every one of my followers, all of y'all do a Foia too, please. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
They gonna do it.
The more the merrier.
Miss Sher already did hers.
Call this a Foia party.
I'm sorry. I don't know what one thing we're requesting yet, but,
Okay. Oh, let me go back to. I'm trying to get back in my email. Where's the?
Cause these cell phone, I'm pretty sure y'all getting all kind of stuff popping up on there. Hey.
And I wanna remind everybody that ChatGPT is a wonderful tool. Especially if you are already a natural writer, naturally gifted, it really is a tool to help you improve your writing.
And we don't have.
Oh, it's a way that you can shape your, it's a way you can shape your creativity to make it sound more teacher. Yeah, it's a way you
You
can.
just tell it to make it sound like, I always say, make it write it in my voice.
Right.
That's what I tell it, and then I write it like I talk.
And then I'm the way I frame math, I tell them, I don't want
They ain't gonna make it, ain't gonna be easy, like, let's do this, they gonna make it hard, make it easy, off, and then others gonna make it hard, any type
Whoever gave the wall for the type in what you want.
And then go down to
And do, yeah, she did it. Yeah, that's it. What's the day? Today's Thursday night. So they not your time clock not gonna start until Monday. They get tomorrow. They'll get it tomorrow. And then Monday.
Everybody's gonna deny. They gonna deny everybody's.
They're gonna be telling you it's too burdensome because the office closed at noon. That's what they're gonna be telling you.
Everybody's denied. There's too many people.
They flying the same thing. They purple too. Watch your back, cause I like purple.
Ready for your class? You like purple?
Watch your back.
See, them pretty.
Is it better to send it to the mayor's office?
Saturday.
No, it would just be better to send it to, city clerk at city of.
I can't. She's sending me on a mission on Saturday. I gotta go to the prayer store. That's all.
They too thin and they slide everywhere.
Do they?
Y'all know I ain't got
You need to put some
no
grips on it. I need to put some of them like that. I put the little pads right here so they don't
I
slide.
like to shake it better than
For those of you that have logged in to the records request, and you're selecting bank statements, and you select the mayor's office for bank statements, because financial records is not listed.
Right.
be a mayor.
So I would select other.
Sure. Yeah, or other.
Got the verbiage up there already?
Cover your
For 2 years, for 2025 and 2024.
But again, allow them to send it to you and then at that time. Okay. Well, to make it easy for everyone.
I just want to share something right before, please,
Be safe.
Miss Mahone, before you go. I just want y'all to know that this like Harvey royalty. Right, Miss Mahone,
Right here,
I just want y'all to know that it was, I'll never forget meeting her and her husband at the Harvey Library.
Not me, her.
Yes, and that's her son. But I remember how much they fought, right? You look at a YouTube documentary called Forgotten Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
It's Miss Mahone and her husband that were at the forefront of the change that was coming from the previous administration into this administration. And thank you for your service. I appreciate that you're here.
Thank y'all.
Okay then. Tell them you looking for them cars in the mailbox. Not no empty ones either. No, I just ain't got my glasses. You need I know that's for sure.
Is it a way for you to look back to kind of gauge what they might raise? I can't find they delete the videos after 30 days.
Off your Facebook? Why?
They do that now. After 30 days.
I'm gonna go look. You need to forward
The lie.
I'm gonna check. You need to forward the desk sergeant for the list of officers that was on duty the night you were taken. Or the
Well, I
day.
know who it was. It was Magana and...
No, for the record, this is what you need to forward, right?
So basically what we have on here is, so we made concern in accordance with the Illinois Freedom of Information Act, parentheses, number 5, ILCS 140 in apostrophe. I request access to the records in your organization's possession related to, and you can just put findings.
Can I take a picture?
Including, but not limited to, September, I'll put it September. So, September 23 bank statement of Harvey General Fund, September 2024 bank statement of Harvey General Fund, September 2025 bank statement of Harvey General Fund. That's 3 documents, 3 statements. And then please provide information within 5 days as required by law. If the records are kept electronically, please provide them that way. Thanks, Amelia.
Internal Affairs complaint
Okay,
too,
I have a question.
that
I
they
don't know
didn't
if this
respond
matters,
to.
man. Should we change? I just see records in.
Magana, how do you spell Magana's name?
Yes, I request access to records in the
And
city's
Brazil.
possession.
Like the
I don't know if
country
they could use that as a technicality or.
Basically, you just trying to know everything, how to get a fine point.
I know, we're sub, wait.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's on sub.
Switching it up a little bit.
Mr. Sub.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
stop at Jersey Mike's if it be open when I leave.
They would still use that. They put the wrong date.
You are? What?
Get it back, it does not.
Okay, let me go in my.
Yeah, I'm trying to look.
Oh, you going to the
I'm trying to see.
Yeah. By the jewel.
For the police department, I don't think Ingles, we can't get nothing from Ingles. You can ask for something from Bud to Ambulatory.
No, you better do that Foia, that's.
They do it this
And if he made that call on his cell phone,
so
to send them to my house, that's for you.
No, I've been so busy. No, for real.
That's burdensome.
But for just 1 month?
Yeah.
What up, Conscious?
And it's funny that y'all asking for GPS, because guess what? It wasn't no police car on the scene when they pulled up.
It was.
They had to call a police car to come and get me.
So you know
They
there's
walked me down the street.
there's a police scanner website
One
that
statement
keeps
from each of these years.
radio
Now, I know we
chatter.
got block cameras on the front side of my block and on the back side, so.
Well, there's a police scanner website that holds the police chatter. They keep the recording, so you can go to your specific day
Just for
and you
now.
go to
Just for
Harvey.
now. If we, I
And,
will.
and you
You gotta
hear,
send me that.
okay, you hear all,
Put it in our group chat.
okay.
Right now,
Yes.
and then we'll ask for.
Once we start putting the puzzle together, because we really don't know. Yeah,
Do we know?
2675.
Okay.
Like, cause I know that there's more than one, so which one is gonna give us the biggest bang for our?
Conscious, are you still up here? Listen, I need all of y'all to go to my community page, post,
Does anybody need help?
and look at the last post. Support the toy drive. Conscious, if you still on here and you willing to support, to promote my toy drive on your channel, please do so. We are trying to collect toys for the kids. I have 4 toy events, 2 in Harvey, 1 in Dalton, 1 in Country Club Hills that I want to go to. We've had a lot of toys already bought on the list. I just need more toys. Please. So that I can say that this community, in conjunction with all of the other YouTubers, came together and provided toys for these underserved communities out here in the south suburbs. Okay? Please. I'm gonna get ready to sign off because they're just doing FOIs. Please join in with the residents of Harvey and you all submit FOIs as well. Please. They are trying to come together and do this as a form of solidarity and, you know, to be able to, can you send money? And I buy the toys, yes, you can send it to my Cash App. Cash App is $ all in the queue. Just send it there and I will purchase the toys and I'll show you receipt. And then myself and Bobo the idiot, we will be dropping off the toys on the 13th and the 24th. I mean, the 13th and the 20th. You'll see both of us. I will be going live when we drop the toys off at these events, okay? So yes, you can. And all of the toys are under $20 that are on there, okay? Please, please, if you all will, please, please, please go to that last post on my community wall. Look at, click the link to go to the gift list, holiday list on Amazon and purchase a few toys. To all of you that have purchased toys, okay, Winky Wonder. To all of you that have purchased toys, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for doing so because you don't have to, but thank you so much. Okay? Okay, Winky Wonder. I'll let you know when I get it. So please, just find it in your heart. Facebook, on YouTube, or on YouTube, Ms. Wisdom, if you go to the post, the community post on this YouTube page, you'll see the post that talks about the toy drives. You click the Amazon link, and please, just purchase some toys for the kids. It's on the post. If you go to my YouTube page, and then look at the tabs, click on posts, and you'll see it, it'll come up after that, okay? 2 toy drives in Harvey, 1 toy drive in Country Club Hills, and 1 in Dalton. I want to be able to support these toy drives with this platform, okay? Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Please send in your FOIA request and help the citizens of Harvey out. Send in your FOIA request. When you send in your FOIA request, you don't have to use your name. You can use Mr. White, Miss White. I don't care what you use. Okay? You do not have to put your name. You just need to sign it with whatever whatever you want to put in there, okay? Do that. But please support the Harvey residents that are out here trying to learn about their finance and what they can do. And they have a lot of solutions, as you can see from the meeting. This was a great meeting. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys for our Was Tiffany Right series. Was she right? We're getting ready to find out. Okay? Lots more to report. Next topic will be, is the house on fire? We'll be talking about the new interim fire chief for the village of Dalton. Okay? Listen, Super Producer wishes nothing but blessings for your life. You all be safe, stay warm, and I'll see you the next time I go live. Like, share, subscribe, and make sure you turn your notifications on. I love you guys.